Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is start off with 2 equal-ish portions of clay. And so what I do here is I just kind of condition the clay, and what you're doing is getting the plasticizers in the clay to start moving around, and it'll make it softer. And the heat of your hands will make it softer also. And you're basically just waking the clay up. And I always like to start with the lightest color first, because sometimes the colors can transfer to other colors. So I like to kind of start with that. And what I'm going to do is roll it up into a ball. And then into a kind of a triangle teardrop shape here. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other color too. So far pretty simple. Just mushing it up, getting it warm, getting the plasticizers and the molecules moving around, and makes it a little more flexible. You can see how flexible it's getting. And I'm going to do the same. I roll it into a ball, just like you're rolling a ball of Play-Doh. And put it into teardrop shape. And I'll show you how, and if you want to try it afterwards, I'll let you. So now I have 2 triangles about the same size of each other. See? Okay. And so what I do is I'm going to flip one of them. It doesn't matter which one, but I flip one. So then they kind of fit together here, this way. So again, I have the 2 triangles, and then I just flip one side and make them fit together. And I kind of press them together a little bit, like this. And then I switch over to my pasta machine, which is this contraption here. And then what I do is I just start feeding the clay through. Put a block of clay on it that kind of as a little blocker, because the clay starts to spread, and you'll see what I mean here. So this is just a normal pasta machine. We're not going to make pasta with it, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start feeding it through. And you think, oh, okay, well that didn't really do that much. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fold it onto itself, and I'm going to run it through again. And again, not a whole lot's happening, but I'm just going to keep repeating that process. And what we're looking for is a gradation between the pink and the white. So, and it'll start to happen the more you fold. You might say, oh, it's still not really doing much, but it'll start. You can see here what's starting to happen. In the middle, you can kind of see.
Oh, I do.
You kind of see how it's starting.
Oh, yes, okay.
It's starting to blend together, and so the more that you do this, and with each pass now, you'll see more and more.
I see it.
Color coming through. And the reason was because we had those angles going on, so we had more of white on one side and more in pink on one side. So see how that's going?
Yeah.
Now it's really blending.
Yes, yes.
Now it's really going, and now it's even starting to even blend further. So now you've gotten a lot of
Variation.
a lot of variation in colors. And you know, I'll go a few more times, but you know, you could stop there if you like that. That much. We'll go a couple more passes and see. So you see what's starting to happen just by folding it and rolling it through. So now you've got a nice blend happening. So then what I do at this point is I'm going to fold it over again. But instead of feeding it the same way through, I'm going to feed it in this way. And that's going to make it kind of a longer blend now. So I've got a longer strip to work with. And I'm going to go even one step further, and I'm going to crank my pasta machine down to a pretty thin setting. And I'm going to roll it through again, and what happens at this point is it really gets, thank you, it really gets long and skinny.
Yes, it did.
So now you have this big length to work with. And so
Oh,
so there's lots of different things you
It's
can
like
do.
a ribbon.
Yeah, so now what I like to do for this demonstration is I like to square off my ends. There's a lot to do with scraps, so I always save my scraps for later. And then I just kind of start rolling it up into itself. And what I'm trying to do is, while I'm rolling it up, I'm trying to push any air out of the ends here.
Pushing a
So I'm
little harder
rolling, so I'm
in the
pushing it in the
center.
center, and as it starts to kind of go out, I kind of press it back into itself. I like it to be about an inch. This is a little longer than an inch, but I like to have it be about an inch for this. And it'll just kind of keep just rolling it up, and it'll stick to itself. So you can see all the different colors that we've got going on.
Now I can see.
Rolling up into each other. And this is a cane that I'm making. This is called a cane when you have layers of color going through in different ways and patterns. I'm going to square off this edge also. There's a lot you can do with scraps, so that's always something to save. So now what I've got is...
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And they call that a jelly roll, that
Yes,
technique.
it looks
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of squash it flat a little bit. And it'll get shorter and bigger and shorter and longer and a few different times until we're done with it. So now I've got about an inch length to work with. So you can kind of still see all of our colors in there.
Yes, yes.
In there.
Isn't that fun?
And the ends will never be perfect. The ends get kind of distorted and smashed, but that's okay. We're not worried about that at all. Then I'm going to take my little craft blade. This is the sharp end is usually the ones to keep away from your fingers. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little mark, like a little, because what I'm looking to do is cut this into 4 equal
Yep,
sections.
That's what I was thinking.
So all I'm going to do now is just go along those and just cut straight down. And straight down. So now I've got 4 sections with all of
All
these.
those shades, the
With all
colors.
these shades.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? So that was pretty easy so far.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
And then what I'm going to do with these triangles is I'm just going to squish them into themselves. So I'm just squishing them. It's like this. And so they kind of look like these little flat rectangles almost. So I'm going to just do that with each one. I'm trying to kind of keep the ends in too. With each one. And I'm not really worried about what these look like because we're going to smash them together and stretch them and pull them and smash them together again
Still
before we're done.
smashing and stretching.
Smashing and stretching. So, and I kind of want them to be about the same length as each other. So then you have that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them together
Oh,
This way.
I see that now.
this way.
Okay.
Yeah. 'cause
You see
how
what's
you're
happening here
gonna
now.
Make your petal.
So then you have that. And this here. So now you've got these variations going through. And kind of like we did with each one of these, I'm going to just start smashing it together again.
Together.
And what's happening now is it's getting longer and longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it almost into like a long rectangle. So I have all the pink on one end, all the white on the other, and on the sides you can see those gradations there. So I like to kind of, you might be thinking, oh, flower petals aren't rectangle though. But we're going to change this into a circle after we're done messing with it. It's easier to work with a rectangle with this stuff than it is a circle. So it's about 2.5 inches or so. Take my blade and cut it right down the middle. And now you'll see
Oh,
yeah.
pretty.
what starts to happen here.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
You see what starts to happen
That's
here.
cool.
Scooching just a little bit. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Come on.
And so then what I'll do again is kind of smash them back together again. So you kind of line them up
Oh,
and you press them together one more
how
time
interesting.
like that. And again, see now it was shorter and now it's back to longer
Yeah.
again. It's about that 2.5, 3 inches or so. And then when you slice into this again,
Oh, look at that.
you see.
Yep.
That's beautiful, actually. Right now, it's
Wow.
beautiful. Oh, I see.
And see, and yep, and so, and I kind of like that this way. So I'm gonna set this one aside, and then I'm gonna start making this into a circle into the petal. And what I'm gonna do is just pinch in the corners, and you can already see
See what you're doing.
It's a circle.
Yes, I can.
it's a circle here, and just all the way down the whole length. So now you have a cane. Kind of
That's
roll it
called
out.
a cane
This is
now.
called a cane, where you have all the different colors running through the whole length of it,
Yeah.
which you can then take your little blade and you can cut in little slices. 1, 2, 3, and now you'll have
Oh, yeah.
some petals like this. And how I make my petals is I just take one of these, and it's good to let these canes rest because all of those plasticizers that we warmed up and moved, they're really soft now. But if you let it sit, they kind of
Make it
firm up a
firm.
little bit more
Okay,
again. But just
I
for the
got
sake
it.
of the demonstration, I'll show you. And to make a petal, I just kind of flatten it out a little bit. And I pinch it together on the
at
sides.
that.
And I pinch it on the top, and I twist it.
Okay.
And there's a petal.
Look at that.
So if you do that,
Reminds me of the calla lily.
Yeah.
and so you pinch, and twist. And so then you have
Look at
these
that.
little petals.
Cool.
This that you can then put in place together.
Look at that.
See? Put them all together. And one more twist. And you pinch it off. And there you go.
Oh my, isn't that beautiful?
And there you have it.
Oh my goodness. That's beautiful.
See?
Have you done that, Mary
Wow.
Jane?
No, this
That's
is the
beautiful.
first time I've seen it too. I mean, I've seen a video. But
So then, and now you have, so now you have a cane, and so now you can, you can
A lot of petals.
slice that more again. But I'll go back to this other one. You could go one more time with this. We'll just go back
Isn't
to that.
that pretty?
We'll go back to that 3 inches or so, maybe only 2 on this one. We'll cut it in half again, and then you can make your variations even smaller, or your little
Oh.
veins even smaller that way. And then again, just kind of form it, press all the corners into itself, and then it kind of starts to roll it. So now you've got one with, you see the difference?
I do. I see
you
the
can see the
finer
difference?
lines.
Oh, yes.
The finer details there. So then, like, with this one, we'll do the same.
Oh, cool.
But this time, I kind of want the white to be on the
It
edge.
almost looked like she painted it. See?
yeah, yeah,
No painting.
no painting.
So this time, I kind of want the petals to have the white on the edge and the pink in the middle.
Oh, you
so
could
you just
do that.
so you just flip flop whichever way
Yeah,
you're
right.
pinching and
Oh.
twisting, so you can get 2 different looks,
Looks.
from the same
Oh, that's
from the
so
same cane. So
cool.
then you'll have. So then you have one that's more white and one that's more pink, and I think I kind of like the white on the outside a little better
Yeah.
even.
No, they're both beautiful.
See?
It's like a little
Twist it.
fox. It does.
And then you can just take another little.
Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. Like presto magic. Magic.
Then you just take a little
Oh,
bit
for
of
the little yellow.
little yellow in the
Center
middle.
piece.
Sure,
Center.
sure. Oops, if it'll stick there for me. Like that.
Pretty.
Just like that.
Voila.
There you go.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't have been talking all the time.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
So there
That's
you
called
go.
audience
So there's 2
participation.
different.
Okay.
So there's 2 different canes,
They're
just
beautiful.
from 2 colors,
Oh.
and a pasta machine and a blade.
Here's a white piece you gave me. Did
Okay.
you want to?
See, I made a nice
You did
pie
make a
shape.
nice pie shape. You did. Yes, you did.
That's
Thank
pretty